Now here's why this is important, and then we'll get into people and process, take a break in about 15 minutes. So bear with me for a few minutes. I know we've been sitting. This is dealership, service department, customer retention trends. Down here are the years from year 1 to year 6. And up here is the percentage of customers that we maintain, or retain, I should say, more appropriately. And you'll notice in the first year, we're retaining about 75% of the customers. Why would we lose 25% of our customers? Simple attrition, right? Somebody buys and dies, they smash the car up and it's written off, there's a divorce and the wife moves out of the area, give it to a kid to go to college, we're going to lose 25% of the customers to attrition. Or they came and bought here, but they live so far out, they're not going to service here. So that's why we have that. But the second year, it goes down to about 63%, and if you look at the third year, this thing takes a tank, dealership repair shop retention, down to 35%. Why?
Warranties up.
Warranties up, right. So remember, this is not picking out Auto Canada, this is a national average, right, a North America average dealership, average, and you guys are far above average, but look at what happens. If you're a factory Bible believer and you're what I call an order taker on that service desk, taking orders on warranty tickets, and you're not talking about maintenance, what good are you to that customer after the warranty expires? You're not. Check this out. This is what the car needs for dollars spent over those same 6 years. First year, $150 to $170 a copy, a couple oil changes and a tire rotation. Second year, a couple $100, $225. Third year, we might hit them with a 20 or 30K service, right? So we might get close to $300, but look at what that car needs in years 4, 5, and 6 for maintenance and light repair. And yet, if we cross these over like that, look where the dealership industry as a whole in North America is really missing the boat. Just as that car needs money spent on it, we're losing them because we didn't take the time to build the relationship with the customer. Build the relationship with the customer. You know, that customer does not see any value in you or your dealership until you get this out of his wallet and make him spend some money with you. Would you agree with that? Because if it's all free work, there's no use after the third year. Now here's an interesting slide that I want to key in on, and this is where I'm going to read you the article. This is where all maintenance and light repair service is done in the sector of that industry that perform those services. The first two I want you to key in on are new car dealerships and general repair independent shops. Just so you know, this 24.4% that's named other is government and fleet vehicles because they usually self-service, right? So in the study, government and fleet vehicles are down here. These are your Walmart, your Canadian Tire, is it? Yeah. All your parts retailers and mass merchandisers like Canadian Tire. But look at new car dealerships. They're performing 13.7% of maintenance and light repair in the industry. If you're a dealership, is that good or bad? It's bad. And if we want to get a little politically incorrect here, it's pathetic. Because where does 100% of the new cars and trucks come from in North America, including most fleets? A dealership. So that tells us statistically that 87% of people are going away from the dealership for their maintenance. Which is why I said, if you're not willing, in the beginning of this seminar, if you're not willing to go eye to eye with that customer and sell them maintenance, your competition sure will. The statistics back it up. This one I think is even more pathetic though, right? They're only doing 10.1% of the maintenance and they don't have warranty to deal with. What the heck's the matter with these people? I was doing an independent seminar in Minneapolis, Minnesota one day, and when I got to this part of the stat, this independent shop jumps up all proud and goes, "That's right, I don't rip my customers off by maintaining the cars, I fix them when they break." I'm like, what? Sit down. Can you imagine a statement like that coming out of a shop owner's mouth? No. That's what I'm going to call the old Uncle Joe theory, and I'll explain Uncle Joe here in a few minutes. Oh, let me back up. I missed something big on this. This is bad enough, but I want to point something out here, and then I'm going to read you something. Quick oil changes. Now, every single one of these sectors of the industry, from specialists on down, have been in business since the days of Henry Ford. But not quick lubes. When did they come on the scene? 74, yeah, it was late 70s, early 80s. The biggest and most prolific first quick oil change business that came on the market was Jiffy Lube, remember? And Jiffy Lube came on the market in 1980. They launched their first round of stores, and their game was to offer a $9.99 oil change and upsell 30 to 50% of the cars to wipers and an air filter, and their business plan said if we can do that, we'll be rich. Guess what happened to Jiffy Lube Corporation? They got rich. They were the fastest automotive business conglomerate ever to profitability. They did it in 18 months with 350 stores. Now, to give you a contrast on that, the average new car dealer takes 5 to 7 years to become profitable. The average independent, 3 to 5 years. Jiffy Lube did it in 18 months. Now, if you notice, since these guys have all been in business for 100 years, I almost shut my computer off right there. 100 years, 30 years, 100 years, 30 years. Look at their market penetration. They're almost where independents and dealers are. But here's a more startling thing to think about. This slide was done by Ford Motor Company, the study, and it was built in 2004. And I left it alone just for this discussion. This is now 2010. Take a wild guess what the quick lube industry now retains for maintenance and light repair in the industry. 17.6%. Which means that in 6 short years, the quick lube industry in North America grew their business by 6%. You know how far the dealers moved in that period of time? 0.3%. So, that's right. $110 million per percentage point. So think about this, and then answer me a question. If these guys now exceed just about everyone else in the industry in 6 short years, what's their success model? What are they doing that we, as an average in the dealerships, aren't? Maintenance. Any other ideas? Marketing. Anybody else? Yes. Here's what they're doing. They're actually approaching the customer with a process. Meaning, has anybody ever brought their car into a quick lube? I know it's against our religion when we work for a dealership, but have you, yeah? What was your experience?
They didn't try to sell me.
Okay.
It was actually quite...
Blah?
Yeah.
Well, I would have fired them. Every quick lube I've ever been in, they have a process, right? And I mean a real process that the first thing they ask you to do is what? Open the hood. Second thing they do is pull a fluid sample. I was actually watching that on you guys' service drive this morning. Absolutely phenomenal job you guys have put together on your lane process. You're getting what the quick lubes get. A lot of dealers don't get that. It's people and process that make them go the way they go. In other words, every single quick lube, just about anywhere you go in the world, has a set process that their people are trained to. And here's the neat thing. Every single person working in that quick lube does the same exact thing every time on every car. And that's their success model. Because if you have a process in place that does exactly the same thing every time on every car, you never miss a trick. I'm not saying that you sell 100% of the services you approach with, but you never miss a trick. I call it the 300% rule. Okay? And that means offering 100% of your 100% of your services 100% of the time. What we do in the dealership world as an average is we do the 10-30-20 rule. Offer 10% of our customers 30% of our products 20% of the time, and we get the results we get. The quick lubes do it 100, 100, 100. Because you'll never see a car pull into a quick lube that doesn't get a fluid sample, ever. And you'll never see a quick lube that doesn't pull an air filter out, and if the guy's smart, he knocks it on the clipboard and makes all the crap fall out of it before he comes around to the window of your car. He's educating you, right? Every time. And let me read you something about that, because I found this to be startling when Doug handed it to me. Do they all have a copy of this? Excuse me, I got to put the cheaters on, because otherwise I can't read. I'm going to jump to, let me just read the whole thing real quick, and I'll do it quickly. The J.D. Power and Associates Annual Customer Satisfaction Survey has been released, and while I will be looking at the study in greater detail in the next issue, I wanted to take a moment to write briefly about 2 of the more interesting findings in the survey. First, and this is important to hear, is that spending by Canadians on vehicle maintenance and repair, which has dropped from 2009. J.D. Power and Associates pegs the figure at $1.4 billion across the industry, and the drop is driven by 2 factors. Canadians spending less on services and a decrease in overall number of service visits. Why is that happening? They're told by the manufacturer not to come in, right? So that diminishes our opportunity to sell, right? Two factors: Canadians spend less on services and a decrease in overall number of service visits, particularly for vehicles between 4 and 7 years old. That should not be a surprise. Canadians are feeling the pinch of an economy that has slowed down, high personal debt levels, creeping inflation, along with uncertainty as to how long interest rates will remain low. All of this has resulted in many keeping their wallets closed and thinking about what expenses need to be curtailed or cut entirely. How many of you guys have put a nice fat repair order across the counter that has repair and maintenance on it and had the customer deny the repair? Always happens, right? Doesn't happen, you know, hopefully if we're doing the right sales job, it doesn't happen a lot, but certainly customers are going to that tactic to try to save money. One such expense is automotive maintenance and repair. I've had people tell me that they are deferring repairs that are not safety related or driving less frequently in order to extend the time between maintenance work and such things as oil changes. Drivers are also becoming more price conscious, which I think we could all acknowledge. I've had some independents tell me that they are seeing an increase in the number of people price shopping among service operations. Now remember, this comes out of a service station management magazine, right? Now listen to this. This is real important. This means that independents have to invest more time and effort on customer education, on the changes, the dangers rather, and high costs of postponing vehicle maintenance. Think about that. Independents are keying into what's going on here with the factories saying minimal maintenance, and they're going after that, right, in droves. As well as developing more effective programs for bringing customers into the shop. Shop owners should also be going through their customer databases to find and target those vehicle owners who will become longtime customers and bring repeat business. This likely means cutting some or even a lot of customers who are infrequent or one-time users of your services, but those that remain will mean greater profits for your business. The other finding, and this is huge right here, the other finding that caught my attention is the high ranking that Canadians gave to such operations as Jiffy Lube. It came in amongst the top 5 ranked brands for vehicle service. This is something that the industry should pay attention to. Would you guys agree with that, knowing what we're talking about right now? You got to pay attention to it. For some time, Jiffy Lube has been moving aggressively into expanding beyond its traditional work offerings of oil and fluid changes. While that still remains its core business, many locations offer wheel balance, batteries, fuel filter replacement, and cabin air filters. I recently had this done on a car of mine just to see how well the staff could do the work. The staff was professional, offered a range of filter and parts options, explained why the work was needed, and did that work quickly and efficiency, and I received free coffee and a newspaper while I waited.